Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla, here to talk to you today about Stockton Tire Tools. Welcome to Tire Town, woo! Okay, you should be checking out tire tools for your bike from Stockton if you're looking for affordably priced tire tools and you plan on doing your own tire work. Now these are going to be reasonably universal in scope. Some of them are going to have to do with tube type tires, some of them are going to have to do with tubeless tires, but in general, if you're changing a lot of tires, you're probably going to want most of these tools as well as a couple other ones. Now when it comes down to using these tools, these should be pretty self-explanatory if you've ever changed a tire before. If not, you're going to have to get acquainted with them reasonably quickly in order to use them. So we're going to move right down the line here. I'll talk about a couple of the things that Stockton has for sale, and there are a few items too that aren't up here that are also going to prove to be helpful. We'll discuss a couple of them and talk about things you might want to have in your toolbox if you plan on doing your own tire work somewhat regularly. So we're going to kick things off with tire spoons as well as tire irons. Basically the same tool, slightly different in construction in terms of tip and as well as the actual rigidity of the build on the tool itself. However, Stockton really does have kind of a wide array of items. So depending on what it is that you prefer to use, you'll probably find something that Stockton does offer because they do have sort of a smattering of items here. So we'll start over here with a couple of these tire levers. These are plain Jane steel tire levers. The size on these things is just right. They'll fit easily into your tool roll. So if you're looking for something you can bring with you on the road, these are a great option. Moving on, you can see they also offer spoons. I happen to prefer these. I feel like these are a good balance between decent leverage as well as, sort of packability. I don't have much problem throwing these into a tool roll. Maybe they'll be sticking out, but it's not really that big a deal. These tend to be the ones that I gravitate to. And then there are a couple other items too. You can see they do have like a legitimate tire iron here. I'll be honest, I don't really use these personally myself too much on motorcycle tires. This is a super aggressive tool, and I really don't like the tip shape so much on these. That said, if that's what you use and that's what you're comfortable using, it's probably something you should pick up. And then to sort of round things out, we also have another one of their spoons here. This thing is absolutely enormous, built like a tank. Personally, I don't feel the need to use this much leverage on a tire. However, if you are a little on the weak side or your technique is maybe a little questionable, this might be something you want to look into. Regardless, as I mentioned, no matter what tool it is that you're familiar with using or you're comfortable using, Stockton has something for you. So we'll move on to the next tool you can see over here. This is a tire multi-tool. There's a couple different tools on here, reamers as well as thread chasers. The tool on here that everybody needs though is this guy right here, and this is the valve core removal tool. If you don't have one of these, you probably need one. Can you get a valve core out with a flathead screwdriver? Yes. Will you damage something? Probably. Is it easy? No, not at all. One of these is really cheap. You should probably have a couple of them, a couple in your toolbox, maybe one in your tool roll for when you're on the road. Another must-have tool you don't see up here, kind of works in conjunction with this, is a valve fishing tool, especially for those of you who are rocking tube tires. If you don't have a fish tool, it can be really, really irritating to try and line up a valve stem in a tube with a wheel as you're mounting a tire. It can be a real bear. That is one of those tools I feel like pays for itself instantly just in terms of heartache and headache saved. Moving on down the line, you can see we have here a spoke nipple wrench. Now this is kind of an interesting setup Stockton has interchangeable tips, and they're all different sizes, and they cover really most spoke nipples on the market. So whether you're building wheels or perhaps you ride off-road a lot, wind up tacoing your wheels and have to true frequently, a spoke nipple wrench is a must-have item. Moving a little farther down the line, you can see we have here a couple of pieces. These are both combo tire spoons as well as hex nuts. You'll notice there's hex nuts on here, and those are going to be sized specifically for the axle nuts on off-road motorcycles. And then on the smaller end here is going to be for your chain adjusters. Perfect for those of you guys who are going off-road. You do need to do tire change trail side. You want to have tools that are light, that pack down easily, and you also want to minimize the amount of tools you actually have to carry. By having so many functions built right into these tools, you can be sure you have all the stuff you need in order to change your tire without carrying a whole bunch of bulk and a whole bunch of excess weight on your dirt bike. Rounding things out too, we'll move back to these rim protectors. I would say this could be arguably the best tool up here. I have so many of these floating around. I use them all the time. What these do is slip over your rim, and they give you a nice secure place to use your tire spoon or your tire iron as you're spooning a tire on or off. Without a set of these, you can be sure that you're going to make your wheels look like shit. These things really do help save and protect your rims. They do a wonderful job, and really for the money you spend on them, they're worth their weight in gold. They really are a phenomenal tool. I can't encourage these hardly enough for most people who are mounting their own tires, regardless of whether you're using a set of wire rims or cast. These are going to keep your wheels looking nice. So like I had mentioned, using these tools should be familiar to most of you. If it's not, check out some tutorials, read your owner's manual. Tire work is not particularly difficult, but it's made even easier when you have the right tools like these ones by Stockton. I like quite a few of these. I have some of them in my toolbox, and I recommend you put some there too. However, don't take my word for it though. Read some of the ride reviews from folks who are rocking Stockton tools when they're doing their tire changes. See what they have to say about a few of these tools. If you have a question that isn't covered there and I didn't get to in this video, make sure you get in touch with one of our gear geeks, 877-792-9455. Of course, you can always email us as well, cs@revzilla.com. I'm Lemmy. I'm out of here.